to the Dropping Dimes podcast. And here's your host, Jay. Hi, Dimes.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Dropping Dimes podcast, presented by you and Yes. So for today's episode, we will be talking about, of course, game 3 of the finals. A very surprising result as the Miami Heat beat the Los Angeles Lakers 115 to 104. Jimmy Buckets Butler played 45 minutes again and literally dominated the game with 40 points, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds. Again, a reminder that Miami actually played without Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic, but still managed to win. Tyler Hero also had 17 points together with Kelly Olynyk. 17 points as well for Olynyk. Also, Duncan Robinson with 13 points, and then Jay Crowder added 12 points and 8 rebounds. For the Lakers, Markieff Morris had 19, Kuzma had 19 at first, LeBron had 25, 8, and 10. AD played 33 minutes, but only had 15 points and 5 rebounds due to foul trouble. It was really a game of runs. The Lakers really started off flat, and then the Miami Heat was able to take advantage of it, took the early lead, and then the Lakers came back, took the lead. At halftime, the Lakers were only down by 4. And then every time the Lakers were, it seemed like they were going to be in control already after making the comeback. The Miami Heat was always able to answer. They shot 51% from the field. And also another key thing here, they also hit 12 three-pointers to match the Lakers' 14 three-pointers. And the Heat also shot 91% from the line. When Butler was actually interviewed at the end of the game, he said that one of the things that they actually noticed was how much they were being out-rebounded. So, looking at the stats, they were only out-rebounded by 6 in today's game. And then they had also more assists. And then, of course, another important stat here, Lakers having 19 turnovers. And then, of course, the biggest discrepancy or the disparity in the points in the paint. 52 points for the Heat, while 34 points in the paint only for the Lakers. So that was really the game there. Basically, Anthony Davis only scoring 15. And then the Lakers, to think that they really have the bigger team, and yet you get outscored by 18 in the paint, then that speaks volumes about the aggressiveness or the lack thereof coming from the Lakers. Okay. Okay, so what really happened was, what happened? Why did the Lakers, they were dominating the games, or they dominated games 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden, without Dragic and then without Adebayo, the Heat, how could the Heat, or how can that Heat team all of a sudden, how were they able to beat the Lakers who were healthy? I think that we can talk about, that's really the beauty of playing the game. And the Heat just wanted it more. If you watch the game, they just really wanted it more. It wasn't so much about, whatever plays they were running. It was just that they really just wanted it more. Jimmy Butler just attacked and attacked and attacked, went to the line, and I think they also showed that they weren't intimidated anymore. In game one they also started strong, but then when the Lakers came back, that was it. They got blown out. Same thing in game two, they got blown out. But in game three, they started just playing loose. And when they did that, when Miami did that, led by Jimmy Buckets, it just worked. I think that all the pressures now with the Lakers, because it's the Lakers who are overly favored to win this. Miami, I think, realizing that they had nothing to lose, they were just able to play their game. Jimmy attacked and attacked. It's like they didn't really care if they would lose. They'll just, if ever they lose, they'll just go down fighting. And I think that was the main secret there. Not, yeah, the rebounding helped, that they weren't out rebounded as much, and also the points in the paint was also very crucial. Now, those things, of course, those are the statistics, but then it's really more of how the Heat just came out. They came out with a chip on their shoulders, and they just wanted to beat the Lakers so bad, and they did. Jimmy Butler, the confidence of that man is just incredible. Like, OMG, super incredible confidence, not scared, just pure heart, will not back down, and that's exactly what the Miami Heat needs. A guy who's not gonna back down regardless. Now the question is, will this be a series now all of a sudden just because of this game three win? Well, we can't. It's always nice to cheer for the underdogs, but then you have to also consider this. Anthony Davis scored 15 points. I mean, if he had his normal 30, the Lakers would have still won. And we'll be talking about, you know, a possible sweep already, and you know who would probably win Finals MVP. It did help Miami that Davis got into foul trouble, never really got his rhythm compared to games one and two. They, the Miami Heat's biggest adjustment was to rebound more and to attack more, to go to the line. That's why there wasn't really any free throw discrepancy. But if you're the Heat, and if you're, like, let's say, a fan of the Heat, what you should really be worried about, if you're still really thinking that they can win the series, is that Jimmy Butler cannot have a 40-point triple double all the time. I mean, it's not gonna happen. He will not always get the call. He will not be able to go to the line as much in the coming games. And then another thing is that this loss would also be a wake up call for the Lakers. This is a wake up call. Like, if the Lakers, like, come out really strong in Game Four, Miami just doesn't have enough to match the firepower when it's really going very, very well for the Lakers. When everything is like going so well for them, it's just too much for the Heat, especially without Dragic and without Adebayo. I mean, the Heat have been very, very fortunate that Kelly Olynyk has been making those threes, and then Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, Mister Buckets now. He's like another. He's just a bucket getter, and he made shots. He made shots in Game 3, and that matters. Duncan Robinson also, those 13 points, and then 17 points from Hero, and then 17 points from Olynyk. Those are big, man. I mean, guys are stepping up, but the question is, will they be able to do that? In games 4 and 5, and in the next games. I mean, the Lakers won't always come out flat, and the Lakers will not. I mean, you don't expect Anthony Davis to just average 15 points in the next games, right? So again, a great battle, a great effort from the Miami Heat. They why is it so fun to watch the Heat? It's because they really simply beat their opponents by outworking them. That's the beauty of the Heat culture. It's just nice to see guys just going out there and giving their all. And I salute them. I really praise Miami for that culture, for Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, always bringing out the best in players. They may not be the most talented nor the most heralded, but they get to just bring out the best in people. And I'm happy that at least the Miami Heat. Let's say if they lose the next two games and then the Lakers go on to win the championship, as people expect to, at least the Miami Heat they have nothing to be ashamed of. They have everything to be proud of, especially Jimmy Butler. The narrative on Butler was that he was a bad teammate. He's a guy who gets coaches fired. But man, if you look at the track record, every place there, every team that Jimmy Buckets played on, all those teams had their best seasons when he was there. His demeanor and his style may not be that popular nowadays, but man, how can you not love that guy, right? Man, that guy is just pure, pure talent, pure effort. Jimmy Buckets. So let's see if he'll be able to keep it up. And who knows? They might pull off another surprise win in Game 4. But of course, in Game 4, I expect the Lakers to come out stronger. And as for the Heat, well, they have nothing to really to lose. They're a fifth seed who made it to the finals. And it really I think that's what makes them scary. Is the fact that they don't have nothing to lose anymore. They're just battling, they're just playing. So the Lakers really have to refocus here. Uh, KCP, Danny Green, those guys have to make shots, man. I mean, can't be that way. Rondo has to play like the third best player on that team, and AD. AD has to be that guy who can really get them points. That's how he becomes the ultimate difference, or the greatest asset for the Lakers, because he can just get buckets anytime, anywhere he wants. And that's really what complements LeBron a lot. Who's, you know, man, the passing ability, the facilitating ability of LeBron is just off the charts. Okay, so excited. I think we're all excited to see Game Four, and let's see. Let's see what will happen. Will it be 3-1 or will it be 2-all after Game Four?